I'm not your gossip girl, I'm the headline. Truth with a curve, baby, redefine. Welcome to the thirst trap. All the truth looks good in a tight wrap. We talk love, power, soul, and sin. Turn the world on, let the light in. Yeah, the thirst trap news. You'll drink it up, it's the real you. Never trying thirst real news. Where every headline's a revelation.
Welcome, everybody. Well, no one is expecting me to come on this early, so the crowd may be a little thinner at the start, but it won't be for long. So let's just hop to it. I don't know if you're picking up on it yet, but the air feels different, doesn't it? The world feels tight, quiet in the way the forest goes silent right before the storm breaks. While we're being fed outrage of the day and circus level distractions, something much bigger is happening behind the curtain. And I don't say that lightly. I say it as someone who watches patterns, energy, history, and human behavior. Because here's what I see. The board has changed. The bishops are gone. The knights are off the board. The pawns were never meant to survive this round anyway. And now the kings are moving. When the kings move, it's never loud at first. It's strategic and deliberate. It's never about us, even though we're the ones who feel the impact. Empires don't collapse overnight. They crack quietly, then all at once. And while they keep the public busy arguing over crumbs, the people with real power are making chess moves that don't show up on the nightly news. Trade routes, currency, resources, borders, influence. History tells us this always ends the same way. Periods of comfort are followed by periods of reckoning. So no, this isn't about fear. This is about awareness. Because when something bad is coming globally, whether it's economic, political, environmental even, or all of the above, the worst position to be in is unprepared and distracted. Prepared people don't panic. Unprepared people do. So let's talk about survival, not in a bunker tinfoil hat way, but in a wise, grounded, ancestral way. The kind of way our grandmothers understood before convenience made us forget. First, mental preparedness. Turn down the noise, stop doom scrolling, and stop letting fear be injected into your nervous systems all day long. Fear makes people reckless. Calm makes people think clearly. If things go sideways, your ability to stay centered will matter more than any supply you buy. Second, community over isolation. The myth of, I'll just survive on my own up in the mountains somewhere, is modern nonsense. Humans have always survived in tribes. So, know your neighbors. Build real relationships with them. Trade skills, and share knowledge. When systems wobble, communities hold. Third, basic self-reliance. First and foremost, trust no one other than yourself. Ask yourself honestly, if the lights went out, if the shelves were empty, and if the internet went quiet, could you feed yourself for a few weeks? Could you purify water? Could you function without GPS telling you where to go? You don't need to be extreme. You need to be intentional. Extra food, extra water, medications, cash, gold, silver, and anything barterable on hand. Not because you're afraid, but because you're respecting reality. Fourth, physical preparedness. No one likes to talk about this, but bodies matter in crisis. Strength matters. Endurance matters. Health matters. You don't have to be an athlete. You just need to be capable. Because when systems strain, they don't carry you. You carry yourself. And fifth, and this is the witchy part people forget, spiritual grounding. Be in touch with your higher power. When chaos rises, People who know who they are, they don't lose their minds. Pray, meditate, ground yourself, and protect your energy. Fear is contagious, but so is steadiness. Be the person others feel calmer around, not the one spreading panic like wildfire. And finally, remember this. Every generation thinks they're living through the end of the world. Most aren't. But they are living through the end of an era. And eras end when power shifts. So if the kings are about to fight, our job isn't to sit in the stands screaming. It is to stay alive and protect your children. Stay sane, and most importantly, stay sovereign. Prepared people don't need permission to survive. That comes from God. They don't wait for instructions. They don't outsource their safety to systems that are already cracking. They stay alert. They stay grounded. And most importantly, they stay human. Storms don't ask if you're ready, but readiness decides who weathers them. And whatever comes next, I'd rather be awake than entertained. Let's get into it. Hello, Jack. Good to see you, buddy. Frank, I haven't seen you in a bit. He says, I'm a fucking animal when I need to be. Hunted, gatherer, fixer, builder, leader. Here, POW. Much respect to you, Frank. We've talked many times on the show. You know we got that respect for you, Frank. Ryan says, if you can watch on Rumble instead of IG, that helps a lot. Yes, it does, because you guys really need to get in the habit of going over there to Rumble anyway. Because come March, I will be moving strictly to Rumble, and you're only going to be able to get clips of my show on Instagram and Facebook. Frank says, who is this with them brows on point? Well, thank you. He says, what up, Ryan? Let's see. All right. Frank may be the one who gets fan of the day for a second time, because you know with fan of the day you got to bring the energy. Before I get off to telling you what I have on the menu, hello, I don't know how I'm going to say your username. I'm just going to say Kenny Boy, because that's all I can read quickly. Thank you for the crosses and the infinity and all the spiritual symbols. That's right. All of that. I appreciate all of that. And Frank says, Ryan, I didn't get my super duper social secret squirrel best fan of the day from last time. What happened to those?
I don't know what batch it's in.
He's
Kissed them in a bit.
Those I kissed his.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm caught up to the last holiday, which was this past Monday.
Yeah, I'll check with the mail department tomorrow. Make sure.
All right, he's gonna check with mail department and make sure that they got mailed out from the mail people, because you know how freaking mail clerks are. He says he may just have to do it himself at this point. I wonder if they caught that we were just sending too many out.
Maybe, I don't know. But I have copies.
But I hope they... Okay, so we do have copies, and if you haven't gotten yours and you're watching this show latently, message producer Ryan, because we will make sure to get them out. Because, you know, anything that's going to be difficult for a patriot, they make sure to make difficult. Hello, Rumble world. Tell your friends and family to come on Rumble and watch me. Another reminder, I have the hotline, the listener hotline. So during this show, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I will be opening it up 5 times, about every 5 videos. So if you want to comment on the content we're watching together, you can call the listener hotline and talk to the audience, and it always makes for a wonderful show. And don't forget, if you're just coming on, you will be able to permanently watch me on Rumble. I am live on Rumble right now, Real Luna Lopez on Rumble. This show will be transferring from Instagram over to Rumble come March. All right, what do I have? Hey, Guitar Man guy, please don't just compete with Frank for fan of the day, because he's gonna win it a second time, and the way you win it is just by bringing the vibes to me. being chatty in the chat with each other and talking to me and just helping me run a good show. Whoever helps me make the show great is who wins fan of the day and gets my autographed, lipstick kissed show notes mailed to them. So what do I have on the menu? Sex sells, baby. Don't you know? I'm starting to think Somalia isn't sending their best. How did Ilhan Omar get so darn tootin' rich? Why is everyone so sick? War Plan Red. Mamdani is paying paid protesters to protest paidfully. Jehovah's Witnesses propaganda. Conservatives versus libs. Mental illness gathering. Ronald Reagan was the GOAT. And if you don't know what that means, it means GOAT, which means greatest of all time. Malcolm X was so based. Then we're going to switch to TikTok and go to TikTok land and watch Megyn Kelly's theory. Liberals have no interest in post-racial society. Check out this Jewish neighborhood. I have a job. Adult dogs teaching their pups. Yay, doggy videos. Obama's ICE chief. Freedom of speech is almost gone. Danish lawmakers are so brave. We have weapons no one knows about, and NATO's
Title,
root is Team MAGA.
That's an actual.
RUTTE. Root. Jack says Reagan was the best president in modern history. Yeah, him and Trump, man, they be going back and forth. They jockeying all the time for best president. And big up Trinidad. Thank you for that Caribbean love. And Frank says Ilhan Omar can't talk straight because I've over... What? Oh, she can't talk straight because I've over the vibes in the chat. Come on, darling. Don't fall victim to the riz. You have too much riz, Frank. I just... I can't handle the riz. Yeah. Ryan just said you're the Wizard of Oz. Yay, you have a nickname from Ryan. He's always better with the jokes than I am. I have to get ChatGPT to help me with my jokes. I have to be like, here's my joke. Is this funny? And if ChatGPT doesn't laugh, then I know it's not for the masses. It's too highbrow. You know, I'm too sarcastic. I'm too literal with my jokes. I'm too dry. My jokes are so real. No one ever fucking understands that I'm telling a joke. So good old AI be helping me with the autisms, the tisms of learning how to joke. So this is why you got to go to Rumble, folks, because there's on the widescreen. And my father, God rest his soul, likes to join me for my lives. Now, I have to tell you, it wasn't until my cousin Matt died that the lights in the house started flickering in any given room according to topic. But only if I was in the room. Because each of us have, I guess, in the house, like have a way that my cousin communicates with us. He typically likes to take his photo off the wall for my husband and make it slam on the floor. That's happened several times, but just for my husband to see. Yeah. Scares the living daylights out of him. And the last time it happened, which was last week, Ryan kept feeling like something weird in the house. And I'm like, I do my little spiritual check-in. I'm like, God, is there anything bad in the house? And God was like, no. So I'm like, no, there's nothing bad in the house. And he just wouldn't take my word for it. And he came back another time and then another time. And I'm like, dude, you know, we manifest demons out of our own fears and guilt and remorses and negative energies. You just need to chill. Don't bring it in. It's coming from you. Because what else would it have been? I asked God. I was like, divine, please pop a side of divine. Do we need protection? And he was like, nah, you're good. So I'm like, yeah, you're just manifesting this yourself. he goes back out and he's like, I could tell that time. He's like, all right, maybe I am. So he's trying to calm himself. And of course, this is when it would happen. When he's trying to calm himself. But the picture right in front of him of our cousin Matt just goes, yeah, boom. And I'm in the bedroom and I hear, and it's 2 a.m. and I hear, boom. And I'm like listening carefully because my husband has high blood pressure problems. I'm like, is that him falling? And I don't hear any, so I'm like, okay, it was nothing. Maybe he just tripped and bumped into something. And then he's like, I hear my name. Lerna! I was like, what? I was like, yeah. He was like, did you just hear that? And I was like, oh, great. And I knew immediately it was the photo. And so I put my stuff down and I come out and I'm like, yeah, I heard that. And he's like, look. And it was the photo. And I was like, immediately got in my mind about my oldest daughter. And I look at my husband and I'm like, what's up, Night Wolf? Welcome. I haven't seen you before in Rumble Land. Good to have you with us. So anyway, when I came out, dude, his face was green, like seasick green, like fear, just like the color just drained out of him. And I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. I knew it was Matt right away. But I at this point in Ryan's spiritual journey, I'm not trying to feed him any answers because you really have to like grow that pineal gland muscle on your own. So I'm just like looking at him, letting him process this. And he just like, I wanted to laugh but I couldn't because seeing the fear on his face, like I'm such an empath. Like I absorbed his fear and I felt it. And I was like, oh, he's so scared. And I'm like, okay, so I'm like, clearly someone's trying to tell us something. And then he says Penelope's name. I'm like, yep, that's it. So, after my dad dies the following year, it took about 3 days, maybe 2 days. No. Well, it didn't show up until I came to the house, right? The light. So other stuff was happening with, oh no, that was after my cousin died. But when I came back home, well, my dad had been visiting Ryan. So I stayed behind with my family in Georgia. Ryan left to feed the dogs back in North Florida. And he had been feeling all kinds of stuff in the house. And he was just like, there's a lot happening in this house right now. Because there's a long story between me and my dad. If any of y'all been following me a long time, you know about the cult stuff. So my dad was very high up in the cult. So, preacher's kid, everything. Preacher's daughter, no less. But so I get home and then the lights are just wherever I'm going. So I'm like, Matt, did you teach Dad how to mess with the lights? Because this would be my dad's personality, just the barrage, the insistence. So as I've learned, that's how he talks to me. One thing he loves to do, my dad, is come and sit on the show with me. I can always feel him in here, which is why I can never regulate my temperature in this room during the shows. I'm always turning my heater on and off. My heater goes off when I can feel my dad a lot because it feels like radioactive, like microwave. I don't know. It feels... I could just feel his presence. It's anyway. So when we're on the show, sometimes when I get to talking about this like religious stuff and certain political stuff, the light behind me to my left, your stage right, it starts flickering. So we have the wide shot on Rumble for you guys to see this because I want proof. I want you guys to see this. But anyhow, nonetheless, I will be switching to Rumble whether you like it or not. Fully. I'm giving you a month. A month and a half to start switching to Rumble. It's the same username, Real Luna Lopez, because Instagram wasn't really meant to be a podcast platform. It was meant to be like the lives are meant to be social. I can't get your badges on lives when I do my podcast, but I can get your tips, the badges, the financial support from you guys, the gifts you send me when I'm on my phone doing live. So that's really what Instagram's for. It's for hanging out, reading the Bible together, reading the Talmud. Hi, Roger. Hi, Anthony. Hey, Aaron B&B. Hey, Slayer. Lots of old faces coming in. Kennedy, Steve, Javon, El Jefe. Nightwolf says, I was here a couple weeks ago for a bit. A few of us left another show to check out your show for a bit, and you wound up rating that show when you were done. Interesting. Funny. I do remember your username now that it's like we're jogging memory here. I need to be able to see. I got to make this a little smaller because I don't see this.
They changed the format.
So how do I know when to...
You have to go here.
Okay, and I'm going to pop my chat out.
You'll know when you have 10 is when you know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's I'm watching.
Okay. So production's going to help me with my ad reads. We got the banner fixed for Rumble, so you can get the QR code during the ads. But Airbnb is breaking news. Princes of Death closing in on Iran. Israel hospitals prepare for a nightmare scenario, and CENTCOM commander arrives in Jordan to oversee 0-hour Tal Nali base. Production is monitoring that. So if anything starts breaking while we are live, we will start to cover that live for you guys, because we are equipped now for that. All right. So we're going to get into our first motherfucking video of this fucking cunt-ass bitch right here, who obviously is lying about fucking everything and apparently lied to her husband about everything too. So apparently, according to Miss Erica Kirk, sex sells, baby.
Sex sells, baby.
Good morning, America!
Really handsome.
You look gorgeous.
Okay, this unseen footage will shock you.
Baby, that's deep in there. Give them cleavage? People want cleavage. Showcase it.
Sex sells.
Pay close attention.
Sex sells, baby.
It goes against everything in the narrative being displayed now.
You need a god and it's not you.
That's me. That's against religion.
Believe me, this gets even worse the deeper we go.
Hi, I'm JT Massey.
She looks
Hi,
like
I'm
she
Eric Bronze.
So we've got the
look at her. She looks like they just got done fucking.
joking about her religious values.
That's me. That's against religion.
We've got a confirmation of living in
Even though that's against our
California.
religion. I don't mind sinning. While she's around being hailed like Mother fucking Mary and Mother Teresa and Mary Magdalene, just remember it's probably closer to Mary Magdalene, because you can take the whore out of church. You can take the church out of the whore. No, wait, what am I trying to say? You can take the whore out of the church, but you can't take the whore out of the whore. That's what I'm trying to say.
Currently live in Venice, California.
And now also stating she lived in China.
Because I've lived in China. I've lived in Chongqing.
There is a lot to unravel. I'm still analyzing it.
With
Modern day
different things.
gypsy.
Yeah.
In the last video, I broke down the acting career. This video is different from everything that
Sex sells, baby.
Her just tousled hair. Yeah, doggy. That's my face too. I'm just like, you know what, bitch? You would have done better just owning this shit. Just you should have just been like, I used to be a hoe and now I found Jesus. Like me. I used to be a hoe, but now I found Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I had fun in my fucking younger days. I'm not gonna lie. Why do you even need to, like, why is she doing this? Like, she could have been just as much of an acceptable Christian, being honest about her past. Like, nobody fucking cares if you're a hoe. Really, what we care about is if you try to pretend to be something you're not. Because no one really cares about women doing the same thing men do. Like, that's the big secret. Men that are insecure with themselves care about how many men you've been with. Men who are secure with themselves go, ooh, I mean, she's got tricks. Nightwolf says, I have 2 episodes of my own show now. It's just me and my teammate playing Dart League. That sounds cool. Congratulations on your own show. Darts is fun. You can take the hoe off the street, but you can't take the street out of the house. Gotta get it. That's a funny one. All right. So I'm starting to think Somalia isn't sending their best here. Do you agree?
Starting to think Somalia is not sending us their best. Yeah. Who is letting their kids be watched by Somalian Didn't anybody see Captain Phillips, the Tom Hanks movie? They're fucking pirates.
We are taking over the ship and the child care center. We're doing both.
That's how amazing this country is, though, if you think about it.
I hate how he dresses. It's so crazy.
You come over here from Somalia, you don't even have to be here, legally. You can just marry your brother.
I love him too.
What? What an amazing country.
Yeah, he doesn't like Candace Owens. They don't understand. Like, people are really kind of afraid of aggressive women. They're quick to say they're bitchy, quick to say they're crazy. But I've watched every minute of Candace's investigation into Charlie Kirk, and she's not the only one who's done an amazing job and is coming up with the same conclusions and questions. Because the evidence, you can't lie. Like, the evidence tells the truth, and she's not the only one coming up. You got to look at other people. She just has the biggest name. Uh-oh.
Then you can open up a child care center, a Leering center. You don't even have to have kids. It's the best part. You just get the money. Starting to think Somali.
See, it needs to go back over before you. I'm so confused with what you did. It's fine. I don't know what was. There was nothing wrong with it before.
Yeah, it was something I don't know. It's okay.
But it's not all the way over now. See, there we go. Yeah. All right. Okay. Daniel says, I agree. Immigrants come and be productive. I have a listener hotline that's going to open in 3 more videos. So if you want to call in and comment and let everybody hear what you got to say, it's coming open soon. All right. How did Ilhan Omar get so darn tootin' rich? That's what I want to know.
The poorest member of Congress become one of the richest members of Congress in just a few short years, and she wasn't even born here. Ilhan Omar is the key to unlocking everything with the Somali fraud. Ilhan Omar has said many times that she is here to represent the interests of Somalia, and that's exactly what she's done in Congress. But she's also represented her own interests. Ilhan Omar entered Congress in 2018 as the poorest members of Congress. She had a negative net worth, negative $65,000 due to student loan and credit card and car debt. You'll find that at $174,000 a year, if she saved every single penny, she'd be worth a couple $100,000 after she paid off her debt. But that's not the case. Ilhan Omar is insanely rich. She's worth $30 million. How did that happen? 2 things: massive fraud and her shady-ass husband and his shady finances.
Cheating-ass husband.
And ballooning
and she married a white guy. Aw, isn't that he's like light-skinned. He a light-skinned Arab. It's basically a white guy.
Ilhan Omar's worth. Ilhan Omar passed the Meals Act in 2022. This is
Hey,
an
Silverback.
act that
What's up,
majorly
Daywalker?
deregulated
Maybe
federal
Daywalker
government's
will win
oversight
fan of the day.
meals programs for children. This is the same act that was used by her friends in Minneapolis in order to defraud the federal government of nearly $500 million. Ilhan Omar even worked at the kitchen that was committing the fraud, feeding the fake children. Fake children, a real problem in Minneapolis, the daycares and the food centers. But then you get to Tim Minette. This is Ilhan Omar's third husband.
She is a crook.
This is a shady Democrat operative that launched venture capital firms at the exact...
No, she's not married to her brother anymore. That's the thing. She did at one time to get her citizenship, but she married a different guy. So I actually followed that story years ago when I was running for Congress, but this is her actual guy.
Same time that Ilhan Omar and her friends were defrauding the American taxpayers with the Meals Act. Those venture capital firms were stacked with...
Silverback, why don't you head over to Rumble? It's better over there. And also, don't forget, I will be permanently switching to Rumble come March. So y'all got to get used to going over there. Anyway, so But it could be your connection as well. So, because we've got different monitors up that are showing what the live feeds look like, the stream looks like in particular.
Obama and Democrat operatives, and guess what? Their valuation ballooned at the exact same time that the fraud was going on. Also, a bankrupt and fraudulent wine company is also listed on Ilhan Omar's financial disclosures as being something that is paying her something like $1 million to $5 million worth of net worth, even though this company is totally fraudulent. It's not real. You call it, it's not a real number. They've been sued for fraud, by the way. The name on one of their wines, The Devil's Lie. You can't make this stuff up. Ilhan Omar has become obscenely rich in 1 year, going from one of the poorest members of Congress to one of the richest because of a shady venture capitalist company that nobody knows where their money's coming from, at the same time that the massive Somali fraud's ongoing and being paid by a defunct wine company that doesn't even have an operable phone number. The Devil's Lie. Ilhan Omar needs to be fully investigated for this fraud and her connection to it, and we need answers. We can't run a government like this. How did the poorest member of Congress become one of the richest members of Congress in just a few short years when she wasn't even born here? Ilhan Omar is the key to unlocking everything with the Somali fraud. Ilhan Omar has...
So he's like, oh, it's the key to unlocking the Somali. No shit. No fucking shit. We know that. All right. So my username on Rumble is Real Luna Lopez. I posted the link right there in Instagram. It's pinned. Instagram is lagging and frozen.
I can stop and restart just the Instagram stream.
So we can stop and restart the Instagram stream. Hang tight 5 minutes. But yeah, so she here's the thing. I just don't think that we're ever gonna really ever see anyone in handcuffs. I'm giving up hope on it, truly. I think that all these protests that are happening right now, we need to, like, the Republicans need to start getting rowdy. Like, now is the perfect time for you to go get rowdy.